Hi, my name is Dr. Ausma Bernot, and I'm the author of the paper titled Police Cloud, Functional Modularity in China's Cloud Public Security Infrastructure. Now, this paper is part of a special issue edited by Gene Koska and Anton Wags, which is called The Expanding Digital Reach of the Chinese State, Digital Governance in China. So this particular paper is also in conversation with other pieces in this special issue, which I highly recommend you have a look at. This paper looks at China's Ministry of Public Security and specifically the case study of Police Cloud. Now, as the name suggests, Police Cloud is a cloud infrastructure project, and it is quite unique in its scale. In comparison to other countries in, let's say, German-speaking countries in Europe or countries in North America, Police Cloud in China has been adopted at a near national scale. It is a big project. And Shandong was the first province to start this national wave of police cloud adoptions in 2013 that snowballed from there. The theoretical frame of this paper builds on the growing body of scholarship on platformization, specifically platformization of police work. So what is that? Well, platformization of police work is an organizational process that allows for databases and datasets to cross-link and create networks of information retrieval and production. Linder further posits that platform policing would be using cloud-based platforms to provide mass surveillance-driven simulations for police operations, and Wilson borrows from the STS concept of socio-technical imaginaries to apply it to platformized police work, and raises concerns regarding privatization of policing, surveillance creep, and the need to evaluate actual efficiencies and cost savings of platformization of police work and not take them at face value. Now, Powell and Associates' work, which is not specifically targeted at platformization of police work, talks about three key elements that are useful to study the institutional dimensions of platformization. Those are data infrastructures, markets, and governance. And this is the organizing frame that I take to structure the findings of this large empirical paper. Like all platforms of cloud computing, Police Cloud also has 4 layers of cloud computing, namely IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service, PaaS, Platform as a Service, DaaS, Data as a Service, and SaaS, Software as a Service. Now, IaaS would refer primarily to the physical aspects of computing, such as servers. PaaS refers to the software that is installed on the hardware and that provides platform to host and manage different software applications on cloud infrastructure. DaaS layer would provide law enforcement with the ability to share data resources, and SaaS would be the layer that allows for the creation of apps and different services that can then be offered to individual devices. For example, mobile policing apps. Now to share the key 3 findings. Now, the first of the 3 finding sections talks about public-private markets and police cloud development. I find that private actors are not simply passively observing the development of information collecting technologies or surveillance technologies as expected. Rather, they're actively involved in the goals of the party state, and they do employ capitalist market dynamics to meet them. This is what Huang and Tsai had termed authoritarian capitalism. Now, the Ministry of Public Security seeks to retain a level of control over these newly developed cloud infrastructures. And what is also really quite special in this particular section is a table. So this table provides a breakdown of China's provincial and region-specific police cloud developments, and it is the first table that details this development in such detail. Now, the second of the 2 findings looks at data infrastructures versus the horizontal and vertical lines of China's government bureaucracy administration. Those are known as the Tiaokuai, and they've created quite a lot of administrative and organizational path dependency. So in China, the police cloud adoption challenge was not so much related to the amount of data that was available or the state capacity to initiate large-scale waves of innovation in law enforcement. The challenge was really in introducing new data infrastructures in the context of the rigid vertical and horizontal divisions of China's government bureaucracy. Previously, they had created zombie systems that were underutilized systems and information islands that were siloed information resources. This section looks at the data infrastructures that were set in place to meet this challenging task of unifying, centralizing, and integrating these resources, also considering the fragmentations that occurred throughout this whole process. Now, the third and final finding talks about something that Chinese scholars call functional modularity in China's data governance. So Police Cloud actually started reducing knowledge entry hurdles for lower levels of public security administration, and the Police Cloud architecture actually made it easier to promote the integration of multiple modular applications. For example, one app could be developed in one provincial location and then pushed out for lower levels of public security administration in that province to adopt, as shown in this picture here. The first two findings speak back to the body of literature on platformization of police work. First, we see that China's Ministry of Public Security tried very much to retain autonomy and control of Police Cloud. Second, the concept of functional modularity is, I believe, going to be useful to scholars studying the effects of platformization of police work and perhaps beyond the context of policing. Now, the third finding links more to political and ideological ideas related to China's governance, and specifically the concept of comprehensive or holistic security that connects national security and public security priorities with processes of social management. And for China, the next challenge is going to extend beyond the integration of mere data sets. And I believe that China will begin tackling the challenge of integration of platforms. And this is the paper in a nutshell. I hope you've enjoyed this video abstract, and you can find the full version of the paper in Regulation and Governance. Thank you.